My mother was the sweetest woman in the world. To me, she was also the prettiest. She lived to be 80 years old and never had a wrinkle. My mother was also clever. She could fix anything. She bragged about how she could take a whole car motor apart and put it all back together again. And she could. She wanted me to do well in school. She always told me that education was the key to everything. She herself earning her nursing degree when she was 48 years old. My mother was also creative, making quilts to keep us warm in the cold New York winters. No one ever looked like us on Easter Sundays because she would sew all of our clothes. She was also the kindest woman. She would always give her last. She would call me and say, "DeVonne, I need you to pay my light bill." And I would say, "Mama, what happened to your money?" And she would say, "Well, you know, Sister so-and-so needed it." She was so wise. She would tell me, "DeVonne, you don't have to invite anybody in your house, but they could see your front." And she made sure that her front always was in full bloom. My mom had many gifts, but I think her best was the gift of hospitality. Always hosting, always feeding, and yes, she was an usher. She had a saying that she could feed the whole church without having to go to the store to buy anything. But you see, it always wasn't like that. You see, my mom told me we were poor growing up, but I didn't know that. You see, because I lived in a time when, guess what? Kids wasn't always an adult business. We weren't allowed to sit around and listen to adult conversations. To me, my mom was Superwoman. My mom was great. My mom was saved. My mom was sanctified. My mom was filled with the Holy Spirit. But my mom was a liar. She lied. She lied. She lied. She lied when she told me she wasn't tired after working a double shift so she could provide for me and my brothers and sisters when it came time for school clothes to be bought. My mom lied. She lied when she was sick and she had to go to work anyway so she could provide for that perfect Christmas for us. You see, my mom lied. My mama lied when she told me she wasn't hungry, when there wasn't nothing left in the pot for us to eat. And I would see her get back up in the middle of the night to eat crackers and cheese. My mom lied. She lied when she told me when she was happy. She lied about her happiness all the time. When she had already reared her own children. But she gave all her happiness up so she could raise her grandchildren, me and my brothers and sisters. She lied when she told me that she would never leave me, but she did. But there was two things that my mother never lied about. She didn't lie when she told me she loved me, because she did. She loved me with her whole heart. And she didn't lie when she told me that she loved the Lord. One day I asked her, why did she sacrifice so much? She told me my future was worth every sacrifice. I asked my husband, had he ever heard about the lies of sacrifice? And he said he had not. I guess a mother would only understand. Thank you.